Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our big story on 12 News at 6. The FBI is warning for the first time that fringe conspiracy theories are feeding domestic terrorism.
Now that warning is coming from the Bureau's Phoenix office. And here's one example. A bizarre claim the Clinton family was behind a Tucson site where children were being raped. Team 12's Bram Resnick has more on the warning and Arizona's connection to it. Bram?
Yeah, the fringe theories, the FBI says, fueled a shooting at a Washington pizza restaurant and the mass murder at a Pittsburgh synagogue. Here in Arizona, there wasn't any violence, but the incident was very creepy. This was a sinister rape den for children, the videos claimed.
I think the little space in the bunker was used to keep children quiet.
The Clintons and the Jewish Rothschild banking family both had a hand in this Mexican-owned bunker in the Tucson desert. That wild conspiracy theory, alleging a massive cover-up by law enforcement and government, is one of several singled out in this intelligence bulletin from the Phoenix FBI office. The bulletin, first reported by Yahoo News, marks the first time the FBI has labeled fringe conspiracy theories as a domestic terrorist threat. The bulletin goes on to warn these conspiracy theories will likely increase during the 2020 presidential election cycle.
We take domestic terrorism or hate crime, regardless of ideology, extremely seriously, I can assure you.
Arizona's connection to the new FBI alert, a reminder of the state's link to the worst domestic terrorism attack on American soil.
About a third of the building has been blown away.
The 1995 federal building bombing in Oklahoma City. 168 men, women, and children perished.
They would blow things up out in the Arizona desert.
Bomber Timothy McVeigh, an angry veteran who declared war on the federal government, planned and practiced the attack with an Army buddy in Kingman, Arizona.
We sent SWAT team up there. We sent a bunch of investigators initially.
Former FBI agent Kenneth Williams recalled how he cracked the case, showing McVeigh's buddy images of the Oklahoma City dead, many of them children.
He pushed away from the table and he said, "What about all the kids you guys killed in Waco, Texas?"
The Phoenix FBI office declined to comment on its bulletin. Now, Agent Kenneth Williams, who you saw in that story, has yet another terrorism connection. In July 2001, Williams wrote the so-called Phoenix memo, warning that Osama bin Laden was sending potential terrorists to aviation schools here in the U.S. The memo was largely ignored, and 2 months later, bin Laden attacked America using our own aircraft on September 11th. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Bram, thank you.